In the 0.6.0 release of Flare, we've got a number of big features that we're very excited to bring you. So let's jump right in and go over them. So the first one that I want to talk about is the new feature, which is Autoplay camera sequences. Now, I've got a level that I've already prepared for this to show you how this feature works. So if you create a couple of camera clips inside your scene, as I've done here, I've got this default and this new clip, each are 5 seconds. By default, they will just play for their time limit and then they will stop. But we've added this autoplay feature, so you can click the checkbox there, and now whenever you play it, it will actually loop down to the next clip and play that one, and then when that one gets to the end, it will go to the next one. So you can see here, and then it goes back to the first, and it'll just continue to loop forever. So this is a nice feature that we're very excited to have in. The next one is the addition of a cancel render button. So say that you have a camera clip and you would like to render it out, and you start rendering it, but it's rendering and you don't like what's happening or it's too long, you can cancel it with this cancel render button down here. So pretty straightforward and a nice feature to have. Now, the next feature I'm very excited to talk to you about, and that is our Fixture Library. So we're now going to be supporting a Fixture Library, and we're going to be continuing to build the Fixture Library over time. And this is our first release of some fixtures that we're including into Flare. Now, if you take a look over on the left-hand side, you can see here that we have some new manufacturer categories. So we have GLP, we have Roby, Ayrton, and Claypaky. Under GLP, we've got the X4 bar 10 and the X4 bar 20. Let me actually show you, I have a level to show you the fixtures that we have. So here we go. I don't know why this one's on. So these are the fixtures that we've got now. These are the new ones we're adding in. So we've got the X4 bars down here. These are the Robys. And then we have the Ayrtons up here and Claypaky there. So for the X4 bars, I'd like to mention two things. First of all, we're as of now, we're only supporting one mode, and that is the SPIX mode. And then for I'd also like to mention that these are pretty performance heavy, so just be careful when using them. If you put too many in the scene, it may slow things down, but depending on your hardware, it might be fine. All right, and then we've got, of course, a number of Roby fixtures here, as you can see, and then Ayrton and Claypaky Sharpie. So we're super excited to be bringing this to you, and we're going to continue to grow and build this library in time. All right, the next thing I'd like to talk about is our new color mixing support. So on top of support for RG and B color mixing, we now have white, amber, lime, and UV. So let me load up my example map that I've got here for color mixing. So we load that, and we've got this just generic, this is the generic moving head, and I've applied the color RGB mixing mode to it. And as you can see over on the right side, we've got RGB, white, amber, lime, and UV. So I'm going to bring this down, and let's put our dimmer up. All right, cool. And let's make it a little more bluish. Cool. And so you can see if I add some white, it will brighten that up. Amber will make that a bit warmer. Got some lime in there, and then of course UV. So feel free to play around with this. Let us know what you think, and if there's anything that needs some adjustment, yeah, please feel free to reach out. All right, the next thing I want to talk about is our moving mesh fixture. So this is actually something that has been suggested by our community and was taking the form of a moving truss, but we've actually created a new fixture here that allows you to set any mesh you would like to that fixture. So if you'd like to get access to it and add it to your scene, what you can do, go to generic fixtures, go to this movable model, drag it in. I'm just going to put it on universe 1. And you can already see on the right side here, we've got a number of parameters that we can adjust. So of course we've got visibility. That's a nice one to have, so you can hide things if you'd like. We've got pan, tilt, pitch, and then our speed, as well as XYZ scale and XYZ offset. So if you would like to change any of these maxes or mins, we do have a way of doing that inside our mesh tab here. So just head over to the mesh tab, and the first thing I will mention is, yeah, we have a way that you can actually change your mesh, which I'll show you after this. But we have an option here for easing enabled, so we can enable or disable easing. We have control for yaw rotation, yaw, tilt, and pitch rotation ranges, so you can set those. And then we also have ranges for offset and scale, min, and maxes. So feel free to play around with these. These can be saved. So and then I'd like to show you here how you can actually change the mesh. So what we can do is come over to our assets, go to our models, go to our trusses, go to this, I'm going to use this 4 meter, and simply just press this button here, and there you go. You've replaced it with a truss, and now you have a moving truss. So we can come over here, and you'll see that as I move it, now we've got a moving truss, and this is all, of course, DMX controllable. So that's super cool. Now, one thing I want to mention that that we have changed as a result of this moving mesh is for each of the assets over in our browser here on the left, we have added a little bar here that indicates what type of object this is. So for meshes, it's going to be kind of this this gray-white here. You can see for effects, it's going to be more of this like purple, and tools, we have a different color as well. So that's just one thing I'd like to mention. All right, the next feature I want to talk about is the reset fixture feature, which we've added. And so over in your DMX panel, all you need to do is come down to the bottom, scroll down, click this reset fixture, and it will reset all your values to the defaults. So this is pretty handy if you don't have another way of doing that. And then finally, for the new additions, we have a toolbar help menu. And of course, so you can come up here, press the drop down, and we've got links to suggestions, roadmap, release notes, and Discord. So just click these and it will redirect you to the associated links. All right. And then we have a number of changes to our default templates. So I'm going to do a new show here and come into here. So in the past, we had many of these fixtures patched to the same address, but now we have patched them to incremental addresses. So that's some changes, as well as gone through and grouped a lot of the items so that there's not too much inside of the object list over here on the right. So we've done that for both this and the warehouse level. So that's a nice change. And then now on to bug fixes. So the first bug fix I want to mention is our render UI. So I can make a quick sequence here. And if I click this render, when we save that out, here we have a new recording status window that updates with the proper information. So before, this didn't have the right information, and now that is fixed. So I'm going to cancel that. Next, we have a duplicate fix. So I can click one of these objects, and before, when you duplicated it, kind of stayed in the same spot. But if I hold Control and now move it, we have a duplicate, and with no problems. So that is also fixed. And finally, the last thing that has been fixed is, or one of the major items that's been fixed, is our NDI size save. So if you set this NDI to, you know, whatever, let's do 1000. Yeah, there you go. If you set your NDI size and then save your scene, this will now carry over once you load the project. So on top of that, we have a number of other small fixes, but that's the majority of what we've got. Thank you so much for watching. We hope you guys enjoy these features, and please let us know if you have any suggestions, comments, thoughts, and we'll see you in the next video.